Welcome back to Mental Perspectives. Today we're talking about loot boxes and microtransactions in games, which is a new and it's an old topic, but it got popular again with especially the release of Diablo Immortal. And today with me is Czecko. And yeah, please introduce yourself.
Yes, hi, I'm Czecko. I'm 29 years old. I'm currently a long-time student, particularly studying English and philosophy, and but I'm planning to finish my studies in the next year. So, thank you for having me here.
Beautiful. So, what was interesting for you, in these subjects that you decided to study?
Um, yes, for one thing, like I like English a
Mhm.
lot. I also during school I noticed that I'm really affiliated to languages. Like I like to do them a lot, and during my studies I also discovered that I like a lot of medieval ages,
Mhm.
and my um, finishing period or my bachelor's will be definitely something about medieval topics. And yes,
Cool.
this is yes, I'm focusing on that.
That sounds really interesting. So you wrote me about the potential topics we could talk about. What was it that made this interesting to you?
Yes, because for example, like microtransactions in general, like I always ask myself, like, why do we need to have microtransactions in games? Like, I think you and me, we are from the same age. Like, I think we are both nearly at the end of our 20s, right?
Yeah,
And I think we played games where there were no microtransactions, like uh, just thinking about from scratch from a game, like for example Tekken, for example.
yeah.
Like if you choose a character in Tekken, you would uh, choose a you wouldn't normally pay for a skin, like the skins are included in the game already.
Exactly, and you could
And
unlock them by playing.
yes, right. And like during the 10,000s or zero, yeah, the tens, the tens, I think it's called the tens. Like this
The
whole
2010s, you mean?
2010s,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
from um, this whole thing changed. Like suddenly we need to pay for skins, like to unlock, for example, a blue or a red color for our character. And I was always asking myself why.
Mm.
And also I also uh, yeah, I also just spoke about it in other chats, and there was always the urge to talk about it, maybe in a podcast.
Mm.
No Twitch streamer done that has done that before. So yeah, this is I just wanted to take the opportunity. If
Perfect.
yes,
So, what is the earliest game you can remember that had microtransactions that you played?
it was for me FIFA, like FIFA, like football.
Yeah.
Um, Yes, like there is a game mode called Ultimate Game
Mm.
or Ultimate Team, and you there in this mode, it's different from the normal mode where you can pick some teams, like the teams like Bayern Munich and so on.
Mm.
But there you can make your own team with individual players.
Mm.
Um, but the thing is there that you can actually purchase the players within a auction house.
Mm.
And there's also a way, um, not only by the auction house, but also by opening packs like
Mm.
FIFA packs.
Yeah.
And if you buy these, this is a loot box example where we
Yeah.
where we get now. For example, if you buy these loot boxes, you can randomly get a rare player or some players to form your player.
Yeah.
And yes, whenever I played this mode, like I discovered that okay, in order to get a good team, I in a very short period of time, I think I need to buy these packs,
Mm.
and unfortunately, I lost some money on them.
Okay.
um, and yes, I say unfortunately because FIFA games usually come out every year.
Yeah.
It's not like for example, like DBD, for example, DBD is a constant game for years, and if you buy your cosmetics for your survivors or for your killers, you have them like
As long
you
as the
have them
game
for your
stays alive,
account.
yeah, exactly. The classic game as a service example.
Which is really cool, and which is this is, like which is how it which or let's better say it makes it feel less that you're betrayed, or that you're that they just want to get your money from your pockets. For example, like in FIFA, every game, like I said, every year a new game is released, and the team that you have for the prior year doesn't matter if you buy a new game if you buy the new game, and you just need to start from scratch. This is the problem.
How long ago was this? Because I know FIFA is like one of these series that gets released every year, and they always are named the same. Do you have any idea in what period that was? Was that like 2010 or was that earlier?
Yeah, like at the beginnings it started. It's for a long time already. I personally started like FIFA 13 and started to invest maybe FIFA. Yeah, I started to invest a bit in the 13 part, but also in the later games. So
yeah,
but thankfully I didn't spend that much, so that I was broke at the end of the month.
okay.
I wasn't that insane, luckily.
If you're willing to share, how much did you invest? If not, that's fine too, obviously.
I don't know it exactly, but I would say maybe 100 euros, but because there were also periods that I stopped playing. In another game like League of Legends, for example, I invested. There, I know exactly how much I invested there, because there's a calculator for the players where you can see how much you invested in this game, and I invested there 700 euros. So yes, although you see, like, although I'm bashing at microtransactions, I'm pretty much a victim of it by myself, and I'm not I'm not free of it.
Obviously not. Like after all, like we'll get into that in a moment. First of all, like the first game I remember that had microtransactions was actually a MMORPG. It was Metin 2. I played that game when I was 14, which is 15 years ago. My math is correctly. And like many like especially the free MMORPGs, which there weren't that many of back in the days, worked a lot with microtransactions, because that's how they paid for their service. And it was kind of common back then that you couldn't buy the thing you wanted, but you just could buy a chance to get the thing. So basically the idea of loot boxes, or like buying a lottery ticket, goes way back. And at some point, I think even the AAA developers realized that there's a lot of money in this system. And they started using it.
Yeah, like, so we can say that maybe in the 2010s, like, it started to be more monopolized, or to be more standardized, like, right?
Definitely.
Actually,
let me see when Assassin's Creed Unity came out, because that was the most controversial Assassin's Creed in terms of microtransactions and stuff. That was 2014. So yeah, I think the time span is pretty accurate. Because that was the first Assassin's Creed, which is like one of these major game franchises that kind of like define the space a bit. They started to have like 1 million microtransactions. They rubbed it in your face constantly. Be like, oh, here, you could buy this dagger, and then you would deal 10% more damage, and that would be amazing. Like that.
And like, were they like pop-ups? Like,
yeah,
they
were kind of aggressive. They got a lot of shit for that. Like, Ubisoft tends to try things and get a lot of shit for it. And then they change it, which I respect. There's nothing bad at microtransactions in free-to-play by the IMO. The system of having to spend money to become a better player, even if you spend it on random outcomes like FIFA, has always been a concept of trading card games. What bother me is microtransactions in games are already purchased. That's a good point. Like there's several layers to it. Obviously, sure. How do you feel about the difference if like it's a paid game or a free game in terms of microtransactions? Do you feel like they are okay in free games, or is there limits?
If I could add something to that, like
I asked you, so feel free to add.
oh, uh, yeah, like I would say that reading this comment, like it sounds like if you spend it to get a player, isn't that pay to win basically?
Hmm?
Like you pay money or you invest money just to get a boost immediately for your, I don't know, character or team, or I don't know.
Well, there's certain layers to it. So first there's like games like trading card games where you need to buy packs to be able to get the characters that you can build a deck of. And I think FIFA Ultimate Team is kind of similar to that. And obviously there's cards or even or players that are better than others. But in the end, like you, at least in trading card games, you usually can also make cheaper decks and they will still work. However, FIFA itself costs money. It's not a free game, right? It's a full price title, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes,
that's
yes,
a
yes.
bit more of an issue.
Yes, and another issue is like the FIFA games that come out regularly every year, basically uh, don't differentiate from each other. Like some players noticed that some features in the game disappear and new ones are added in the next year. It's like they would switch some features there, and it's the game wouldn't be like it isn't yeah, it's not like it's a different game. It's just yeah, just changing it constantly. And yeah.
It could have been an update, is what you're saying.
Yes, and at the same time, like I said, like taking something off the game.
Yeah.
So but people notice it, like that's the case.
I mean, arguably FIFA is one of the best money-making machines out there currently. I think FIFA single-handedly kept EA alive with through their very rough years.
Yes.
Because it's basically it's a casino. Like it's a soccer game, cool. Like everyone loves soccer. Soccer, great sport. Especially in Germany, people love soccer. And then they have this backhanded casino in it, which I personally find pretty hardcore.
Exactly, and if you also take into consideration like that many kids are playing it,
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
and basically you um, introduce gambling to young kids,
Yep.
like, and this is I think one of the biggest issues that I see there. Like, for example, like we if we do loot boxes like you know or adult people, of course we know where our borders are, but if young kids are get in touch with that very early soon, it becomes very problematic because they can, you know, can be addictive, and
Definitely.
kids couldn't differentiate it, or just can get stuck in it, so that's very problematic.
No, but I mean that's not just with kids. There is always like people that spend a lot of money on these kind of games, and I
Yeah,
would say like a lot of them are adults, and that also bears the question: do we need to save adults from themselves?
yeah. Yeah. I think adults are a different kind or a different case, but but I think the children are the most in this case the most problematic ones. Like this is we need to protect they need to be protected from it. Like um,
So
as much as
having this kind
possible.
of gambling system in a game that would be rated 18 plus, would you be more okay with it?
Yes, or at least, yeah, or at least having just this or you or just this verification of being 18, I think would be enough,
Hmm.
or it would be necessary, definitely, because uh, I think I just don't want to mention other streamers' names, but
Hmm.
there are, like on Twitch there are also casino streams, or there used to be casino
Yeah.
streams, right? And I just think they are a bad example, like for children. Of course, you also need to consider like the flow, the spending money to nowadays is like or spending more money. I think no, it's just normal, right?
Hmm.
Um, but I don't think that it should be for gambling in this case, like or especially not for games that condone basically in this case gambling, like FIFA or I don't know. I don't know. DVD doesn't have something like this.
No, it
You
doesn't.
know, you can just yeah, like you can buy skins for of your choice, and some are more expensive, some are cheaper, and I think this is fine. Um,
I mean, DVD
yeah,
does one scammy move, and that's having a third currency, but we'll get to that later too. Um, Generally, like I absolutely do see the point of kids, and kids being an argument of why something is more dangerous. But I always also think that kids are a bit of a weak argument because in the end, it's kind of the job of the parents to do the parenting. It's not the job of the government, and it's also not the job of a company selling a product. Still, like I personally think gambling obviously is bad. I don't need to say anything about that. And I personally think FIFA is a disgusting cash grab. But if you're a soccer fan, there is no alternatives, right? There's no other football game that you could play, as far as I know.
there used to be yeah, there used to be like
Yeah,
Revolution
true.
Soccer. There was, but in the years, FIFA just overrun them, and
Yeah,
there are, just,
they didn't have the
and they even
license, as far as I know.
yes, just that's one thing. But and they also just they changed the names.
Mhm.
The name of the game series, like yeah, just FIFA One in this case.
Absolutely. That's the EA concept. Just think of Sims. That's especially a kid's game, but when you want to have the complete game, you have to spend 630 euros for the game with its expansion pack. That's just ridiculous. And that also bears like another interesting question. Where's the difference between a microtransaction and a DLC? Or an
I would
add-on?
say like it sounds the same, and I would say that these are pretty much the same, right?
Hmm.
Like, um, for example, personally, I'm also a fan of the Dead Space series. You know,
Hmm.
Dead Space the game,
Yeah.
and I think for the third part of the game there was a DLC that which you could download, but you need to pay like $10 or so.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, you can also argue why they didn't include it to the game, right?
Mm.
Just to it was another chapter, and yes, like you can also argue like was the game maybe unfinished? Like, it's why would they add just a DLC there?
You could argue
You
was the
know,
game, but like, okay, let's go to a very popular example. What about The Witcher? The Witcher was a base game. You paid 60 euros for. You got roughly 80 to 120 hours of content. If you didn't like grind everything, if you grinded everything, it was more than 200. Then they brought out two expansions. Each of them had like one was like 30 hours, another the other one was like another 80 hours. Would you put those in the same category as having like three more dog dresses in Sims?
uh, it's I didn't play The Witchers, like
Well, let's take
but
Skyrim. It works the same. If you play, did you play that?
uh, I think I played Oblivion. I played Oblivion.
Okay. Another big like. let me find something real quick that you might have played. Fallout.
Well, I heard of it. I have
Okay.
heard.
So in general,
Uh,
like the difference I'm trying to make here is there's like games that bring out an expansion or an add-on that adds like hours of more content to it.
yes, like thinking about it, I think content-wise it would be also fine. Like if you think about it, like of course, like you need to be a fan of the series.
Sure.
I think this is a condition. Like uh, for ex for example, like I played a lot or I really liked the Resident Evil remakes, like that came out recently, like since 2019, and there wasn't any DLCs, but adding additional content was, I think, was always great. Like for example, there were some mercenaries mods in the second part, and yes, like I think for the fans, like it's more understandable if you want to buy them, but there's, I think for me, what I criticize is like why didn't you include it in the first, or I just need an argument like why didn't you include the DLC right at the start of the game, and why did you put it as a DLC just to pay, just to so people can buy it? That's my problem. Like, where's your argument? Like, because producers, of course, don't have to tell the truth always. Like, right?
I would assume, like in most cases, is like if you split off some DLCs, first of all, you get the base game out quicker because you need to develop less content for it, and second of all, if you have a successful base game, you will earn a lot of money with the DLCs. So it is a smart, like in the end, it's a business choice. Like it's probably not about being a dick or something. It's literally a business choice. Yes. The question is just like, where are the borders? Like, what is fine and what is not fine here? Because, for example, if I have like a great game where I buy a base game, I have like countless hours of fun in it, and sometimes I'm even looking forward to a DLC. Like the newest example for that being Elden Ring. Like I bought the game, it was 60 euros. I played it for 150 hours or something, and I'm looking forward to a DLC or to an add-on to that.
Yeah, me too. I also have it. It's I would actually also be willing to buy a DLC if one came out there. So like you suggested, I think content-wise, if you add DLC like content-wise, I think yes, I would agree. Like, if it ultimately supports the game or the producers, because which they do a good job, I think all parties would just benefit of it. Like the fan base, the producers. I think that I'm fine with that. But when it comes like to pay to win, or when there are some bad examples for children, so I would say that there need to be a closer eye, or just some more observation, like or at least maybe some outrage from the fans, where they say it's not okay to make something like this available for the kids.
Yeah. Okay, so there's several categories of DLCs. There's like things that are purely cosmetic, which I also think is kind of okay, because you could just not buy it. You're not forced to buy cosmetics. You can just play the game. You got everything in there, but you can pay 5 euros extra to get like this cool outfit. I think that's kind of a fair deal, because you don't need to. Fortnite does that pretty well, for example. Like they finance themselves solely through outfits.
Yes, like I think I would see cosmetics still as critical there, because or maybe it depends on from which generation like you are. Maybe I'm just too boomerish to accept that it's just there's another way. Just why not including it immediately? Yes, but if you are younger and you don't know it better, so like it's fine. Like I think I couldn't I couldn't argue better. Yes, I think arguing from a generation's point wise, where it was different back then, I think it's maybe not so valid maybe in this case.
It like mostly it happens in games as a service. That's like where it happens the most. Like games that run for many years, and oftentimes they're free to play too.
Yes, free to play.
Surely, like they kind of need money, right? They need money to support the service and what else. And sure, you can make this a pretty filthy cash grab, Well, let's take the example of League of Legends. Like League of Legends is a very large game. It's been alive for over 10 years now. And the only thing you can buy is basically battle passes and skins. And challenges.
Yes, which they strangely they just bring new content in these cases, but the toxic player bases or the game or improving the game is not on their topic list, or will never be. Like even though people are complaining in years for it now. So
I think that's in the end not a decision that the developers make anymore. Because I think it was 5 years ago, 6 years ago, or something like that. Riot Gaming got bought by, if I'm not mistaken, Tencent, which is a gigantic Chinese, I don't know, digital investment group, you could say. Like they own a lot of games. They own like an insane amount of games. And they make like financial decisions that the devs don't even have like a say in anymore. Like they say, okay, you guys need to make more money, make more skins, and they will make more skins. Because that's what pays their daily bread, if you want. And that's also a thing that changed from back then. Like back then, many of the games were like made by a studio and they had like a publisher and that was it. But there weren't many shareholders because it wasn't this $1 million or $1 billion business that it is today.
yes, but wouldn't you think that it was better maybe, like content-wise, for example?
I'm not sure about that. Like we have so much variety today that we literally can just pick whatever we enjoy, and if we don't enjoy something, we cannot play it.
Yeah, sure.
Like that is what essentially changed. Like back then, the reason why many games got successful back then is because there was no alternative. Like if you wanted to have like a fantasy kind of game, there was Zelda, and that was basically it. And like ages later, there was I don't know, Gothic in Germany and Fable.
Yeah.
So I think many of the games also just got popular, or like we have them in such a good memory because there was nothing else. But even today, still like games come out that don't run with DLCs and microtransactions. Elden Ring being the best example here.
Yeah, but which is a good thing. Well, like
Definitely.
this should be praised. Like this is a good example that Elden Ring, yes, like you said, that it's still possible to make such a. I think it's a monumental game. Like
Definitely.
just such a game will only comes out every 10 years, and it proves like to have that you don't have to do these cash grabs or these hidden microtransactions just to lure your customers in. So just be creative, like in this case.
Yeah.
So yes, like it's a very good example, I think.
And there's other developers, like big developers, that kind of saw the money in there and kind of just did lean into it. Like Ubisoft, for example. All of a sudden, all their games had some kind of microtransactions. They were less pushy than Unity, so they learned from the backlash. But like every new Ubisoft game that comes out has some kind of microtransactions, or just to skip progress by paying this money. And
Didn't Ubisoft bought World of Warcraft? Isn't that right? No, or
no.
was it another company? No. Oh, okay.
It was Microsoft did buy Blizzard.
Blizzard. Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, Microsoft.
that's World of Warcraft. I think cosmetics
Yeah,
can
but
be baity if you know as a developer that there's people out there that are going to buy no matter what. It's still critical.
yeah, true. I would agree.
But how would your preferred way of making money for a developer be then? Because that's kind of the question we have to ask ourselves. Like, obviously, devs or game studios need to make money. What would be your preferred way of doing so?
Um, I I think I know where you want to get at.
Hmm?
Like for example, small studios like that want to grow, and just they need to find a way to generate some that generate in to generate income, and yeah, these microtransactions can actually help them, right? Um, yes, but it's the issue is like they still need to obey I think some more structures, like because people aren't dumb. Like for example, like Laser said, um, people would see it definitely critical, and I think they wouldn't lure themselves in so easily. And this, yes, like they would smell that it's fishy, like. So it would be and so that it would be the case that their product wouldn't be bought, like if they would find out that there's some cash grab behind it.
And that leads us to the newest example, actually, Diablo Immortal.
Yes. I downloaded it. Yes, I admitted that I downloaded it because I was interested in how it is.
Mhm.
I'm still like at the very beginning of the game, like the preview. I think the first chapters.
Mhm.
Actually, it's a good game, but I've seen some videos like whenever you progress further, the more cash you need to invest in it, like to get some upgrades.
Mhm.
Um, and yes, this is of course like no way in no way could this be supported.
Yeah.
Like uh, yeah, but I think you can still enjoy it like without these if you don't have this aspiration like to get the best gear or something like that, like just to play it for the sake of the story, like you can do it. But uh, yes, if I wouldn't recommend to invest their $100,000 for the best gear.
Yeah.
Um,
So I did
which
download it as well. I played it for roughly 3 hours or something. And yeah, it's a well-made game, and that's kind of the issue with it, right? If it was just a bad game, it wouldn't work. But it's a well-made game, and it could have remade the entire landscape of mobile games for ages.
um,
Unfortunately, it's another cash grab.
yes,
And
like it's just a code, like it's just behind the logo Diablo.
exactly. And in the end, like the hard thing about it is you don't invest money and then you progress. No, you invest money to get a chance to progress. And there was like videos of a person spending like 6K and they didn't get the thing they wanted. $6,000 just down the drain. And
Yeah, I
that's just
was.
like obviously they were probably unlucky, but still that can happen.
Yes, and like we said before at the beginning of the podcast, like the people that are inclined to gambling or to invest money in such things like are really endangered. Like if they get into these games,
Yeah.
and yes, and there's the issue, like how could they be protected? Like how you can protect yourself from that, like other than just not just than just stopping it, like that's problematic.
I would say like if you have like a gambling habit, there's just games you should straight up not play. Like I don't see an easy way around it. But if you have like a gambling habit and you have like an issue controlling it, you should steer clear of these games.
I would say like if this gambling habit refers to spending money, I would agree.
Yeah,
Um, but there's also another game mode of League of Legends like TFT, Teamfight Tactics.
yeah, I played a
Like
lot.
yeah, me too. Like I'm very active there, and there like there's the game mode is like basically about 50% gambling
Mhm.
or having luck, and 50% of just strategy. Like
Mhm.
it's a good mix, and I think if you would play this, I think it's all right, like because you don't spend any money and you just can um, let your gambling tendencies out there, because it's fine within this game. Like I would say I would say you can do that.
I mean, like in the end, if gambling is an issue or not is always determined by the person themselves, and if it has like impact on their regular lives. But yeah, in general, I wouldn't see TFT as problematic because it doesn't incentivize spending money on it. Sure, you can have like a little other creature sitting in the bottom corner that resembles you, but in the end, that's like you find your creature and then you're done. And sure, at some point you might want a different one, but there also is a battle pass, and battle pass is the next interesting topic we could jump on. Because battle passes came to be, I don't know, they're not that old. Like at some point, every game started to have a battle pass, and battle pass just was like reward people that are active. It costs money, but you get a lot more out of it as if you would spend it individually on the items or in loot boxes.
I think the first time when I get in touch with battle passes was in League of Legends. Like I didn't know it before.
Hmm?
There's this season. I think it was called Season Pass,
Mhm.
or I don't know. Whenever an event is going on in League of Legends, like you can buy a pass to I don't know, buy some tokens or coins, and then you can buy skins with that. And
Yeah.
yes, like if you are very strict, you can argue that this is also just another cash grab. But when you buy it, like it has an own in owns like because when you buy it, like you can get the rewards for gaming, right, or
Yeah.
for playing matches, for example. And I think this is a bit less harmful than buying regularly stuff, right? Um, I would say
It's
because
a
you
bit
have, like,
more of a what you see is what you get deal.
yes, but you like I said, like when you buy it, you can just almost forget it and let's just keep your matches going on. Like it's not in your head like that, or whenever you play the matches, you get the rewards, right? But it's less apparent than having always these pop-ups or these loot boxes, for example, that
Yeah.
remind you to buy them and to get the best gear ever, for example, for when you spend thousands of euros.
Yeah. True.
Um,
One of the
yes.
first games that got like critically discussed when it came to loot boxes was actually Overwatch, which is a bit funny. Overwatch had loot boxes from right from the get go, but it was all for cosmetics, and you also obtained those for free quite regularly. Like if you played the game actively, it was very easy to get all the stuff together. Um, However, they got a lot of shit for it, even though it was purely cosmetic, because you could also buy them. And they're also in like that list of games, as far as I know, that are banned in certain regions because of that loot box mechanic, which is a
Uh,
bit wild. And like I never understood why Overwatch, of all the potential games that could get shit for it, got so much shit for it, because like it was just cosmetics, and you got them for free, like in massive amounts. And on
um,
top of that, there even was a bad luck mechanic that you got like scrap energy, whatever you want to call it, and you could like craft the things you really wanted in the end.
yeah, I never played Overwatch, but I think when it's guaranteed, when the loot is guaranteed, like I think it's fine. But they didn't add any randomizers, or did they, or just
Well,
um
obviously it was random items.
oh, okay. Yeah, then I would say I would also think that it's problematic. Like whenever you get this random mechanic there, I think there's still a chance that you just don't get your desired gear, right?
But
And
as I said, they have this bad luck mechanic for it. Like you could basically disenchant duplicates and make like the thing you wanted.
oh, okay.
So that's
Um,
basically like after a while, you will definitely get that one thing you definitely wanted. It just might
okay,
take more time than drawing it lucky.
okay. Um, yeah, okay, like okay, in this case, like when it's this on the other way just balanced it, but yes, when it's less random, then I think it's fine. Then um, like speaking of I think of cosmetics, I think League of Legends is also not very free of having, yeah, just just having colorful skins, or just buying them for their design, because there are also skins designed to pay just to pay to win, basically.
Really?
Yeah, just like for certain champions, like if you get the skin, or if you play with the skin, and you use some abilities, they are less visible than you would use than in comparison to the normal, or to the default skin. Like,
That's
and
wild.
yes, and this is also gives you a huge advantage to, like, in your matches. And it's just a pay to win mechanic, which I think Riot never admitted that, but player found it out that
Mm.
there's a huge difference there, like in the design of the skills, like they changed in the skins.
Do you believe that was planned, or could it be an honest mistake?
I would say that I think you also need you also need to add that, or also need to consider that the skins are different from each from the design. Um, but yes, but I think most of them are like probably €10, for
Mm.
example. I think they don't cost less. Um, I would maybe it's just an evilish thought, but I would say they did it intentionally, like just to get the $10 out of the players.
Okay.
Like, because most of them like cost 10 euros, and uh, yes, like these pays to win skins are just €10 worth.
League has
Like,
another interesting mechanic, like regarding getting players to spend money, and it's like the skin shards.
yes.
So sometimes I like sometimes you get boxes. I don't exactly know when you get them. Like I didn't play that much, but then you get skin shards, and it's basically, oh, this skin will be a lot cheaper if you bought it now because you already have a fragment of it. And that I found really interesting, like as a system, and I think it's kind of baiting people to spend money there.
Yes, and I know this, I know this mechanic, and the issue with this mechanic is, like, it's also very randomized. Like, whenever you get a box, like, you don't know what's in this box and you also just get some random skin out of it. So um, this is just the chance is just too high to not get the skin for your favorite champion, for example.
League and Fortnite too, by the way, are like they give a lot of stuff away for free. Like you get many things, and like you even get skins for free in League. If you just are active, if you participate in the events, you get a lot of free stuff. And Fortnite is kind of similar in that. But I actually think this kind of behavior makes it that people spend more money on them because they feel like they get a better deal.
Um, yes, like, I think it's both wise, like, and it also is just maybe a bridge to get also people to buy the battle passes. Like, I think it's just a prelude, or just an introduction to make the people or to force the people to pay more money for it in the on the long term. I think
So
it's strategy. It's their strategy.
you said you spent several hundred euros on League. Um,
Yes.
do you regret that, or are you saying, okay, I spent so much time with this game, it's fine?
There was a period of time when I played League very actively. I was also a part of a team
Hmm?
back then, but at some point I stopped playing it, and my attitude just towards it, like, changed it, like, now.
Hmm?
When I was active, like, it was different. I would say, like, it's totally fine, like, because I'm playing it regularly, because at, the, at this period of time, like, I played League very regularly.
Hmm?
So it was my main game, so I didn't bother to spend it. But now I would say, like, um, On some skins on some champs weren't necessary that much because like I also I also bought the skins like out of the reason that they were aesthetically very very appealing. Like they're doing a good job like in creating them or in creating their designs like which is also very baity. But yes, I wish I would have been smarter there. Like I wish I wouldn't have spent there so much money at some point.
I personally did spend some money on different games too, like to get skins and that. Like I'm not free of that either. I don't know. Like back when I played League actively, that was like over 12 years ago. I definitely bought a couple skins and stuff, and I looked forward to getting that, or like other games I played actively. Like I basically have like a couple skins everywhere, but I always like try to make a comparison. Like the absolute minimum that a game has to offer me is like 1 hour of fun per euro spent. That's like just a general judgment. And obviously with a game like League that I probably played like over 2,000 hours back in the days, and I like spent 100 euros there over 3 years, I feel like that's okay because like I got so much playtime, and even though I don't play it anymore, at least not the League part, just the TFT part now, I kind of don't regret it because I think I played enough. It kind of was worth it. Like I spent extra money. Honestly, I would have probably not have less fun if I didn't spend any money, but I felt like it was kind of worth it.
Yeah, like for me, like why I'm feeling so regretful about buying some skins. Like I think it's the same like if you would go to a flea market and you need some nice stuff. Like it's so nice. Like for example, I don't know, some shelf or some I think or some furniture, for example. Either furniture, for example, and you would say like, I would need that, like, and you buy it, and then at the end you realize that you didn't need it at all, and I think this is pretty much comparable with this both buying skins. Like you just don't think about it if you really need it or not, like just because it looks nice.
I mean, after all, like we're spending money on digital goods, and that's like the issue that is comparable to a flea market here, or like that's different. We cannot resell it. Like unless your main game is Dota or Counter-Strike, you cannot resell the skins. And
Yes.
that also hits a bit different because like I was maining Dota 2 for a long time, and this whole like, oh god, I don't want to spend the money issue never arose to me because I knew I could sell all my items on the community store, and I would get like a good chunk of the money back and like buy other games with it because chances are I'll always be playing games. So that made it a lot, like I don't know, that took a lot of the potential regret.
Yeah, like you're just stuck with the skins, like right? You when when there's also the case with the meta, like for example, if you just bought some server skins for your champ, and then there comes a meta where your champ isn't playable anymore or becomes weaker for the new patches, like then you have the problem that you already spent several skins for the champ, and it's just useless to use it in your ranked games because it isn't strong enough.
Yeah.
Like then it's just a dilemma or dilemma. Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. Paying 800 euros for Apex packs and stuff to get a knife. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, I never bought skins, no. I still buy the TFT Battle Pass. It's free with Twitch Prime anyways. That's also a good point, actually, in terms of League giving away free stuff. Twitch Prime has packs where you get like riot points for free, which you can then use to buy battle packs. Battle passes, which is where I got my battle pass for TFT2 from also. But Yeah, I mean, it's free stuff. Like, no one will argue much about free stuff. Yeah, spending money on your hobby to have a better time is nothing you should be regretting. It's like buying gear in real life for your hobby, just to have a better time. Well, like, yeah, you can resell stuff in real life. That's like the big difference.
Yes, but you also need to consider like the responsibility in how to spend money how to spend money responsibly. And um yes, you should definitely know your limit, because when it becomes whenever I played in a team, like I also had my other team members like spend almost 2,000 euros for the skins, and now they also aren't active anymore, and they also play other games now.
Mm.
So it depends. Like if it's still a bearable amount of money that you spend, so where you can say, okay, like that's it. Like I spent that much, but uh, yeah, you can also think about the case like when it comes to nearly 2,000 euros,
Mm.
then you can also yeah, you can also think about it like maybe I could have spent it elsewhere. Yeah.
True. Well, in the end, the question, like one of the questions that we have to ask ourselves is it really the job of the developers to not make us spend money irresponsibly?
Um, no, but I think for us not like we need to be responsible for ourselves. But I would again include this example with children, because children are very like more learnable than us, and they wouldn't think like us, or they wouldn't consider the different downsides of it. And
True.
unfortunately, um, these big AAA companies, Riot Games or EA Games, they unfortunately abuse that strategy.
True. So I would say definitely it should be like in the end it's a parenting problem. Um, but it should be like easier to monitor for parents maybe, or like have some kind of wall that only adults can pay at all. That would be like an interesting solution. But I mean, if a kid steals the parent's credit card, it can do whatever it will. But that's nothing you can prevent as a game developer. So I think the best solution, if like the game developers have to find a solution for it, would be to add some kind of wall that only people over the age of 18 are able to buy things in their stores. But they won't do that obviously because they will lose a lot of money.
Yes, I would agree to this mechanic. Like it would, yes, like you said, like they are too they are too greedy. Example, they would lose money, but it would definitely benefit the player base, like, and keep the gambling out of the youth, which would
It
be
would
great.
probably help a bit, yeah. Okay, if I would spend 100 euros on a hobby a month, I can spend 100 euros for a game or for like any skins. It's the same thing. I mean, that's like the justification part of it, right? That's how you justify it to yourself. And if you're like happy with that, I don't think there's an issue. In the end, I don't know. I personally never worked much with budgets for myself because I tend to like just not buy things unless I'm really, really convinced.
Yeah, I have also this attitude. Like I just need to have this. Um, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Like, and I think like the biggest impulse purchases I made in my life were guitars. I was like, I don't know, I was close to a guitar store, and then all of a sudden, I had that sudden urge to pay 800 euros for a new guitar that I also didn't need. But I mean, at least I still have it. It's still there. It's physical. That's what's different. I don't quite understand your comment, Dresa. You're indirectly spending money on the servants there, right? Monetization is super fair. What do you mean with that?
I think Riot still gives you the option just to spend money or not. Um, I think this is what it meant, right? Or so
Potentially.
that you aren't forced.
Let's before we get deeper into that, let's talk a bit about of why we even get to spend money. Because in the end, it's a bit of a neurological hack. Like in the end, it's all about dopamine. So usually when we get rewarded, we get like a dopamine surge, which makes us feel like motivated and happy. And oftentimes games use that by giving you like microtransactions to reward yourself, which then gives you a little dopamine surge and you feel more happy. The issue with that is you get used to that dopamine surge, so you need to like get more to feel the same surge of happiness. And the other issue is that for example, a game like DBD utilizes is making the game very frustrating. And I know this is a bit of a bold argument, but stay with me. Making the game frustrating, so you don't get the dopamine surge while gaming, so you want to spend money in the store to get your dopamine surge. Because I see that in many games, and I think that's also one of the reasons why these like hardcore grindy games are so frustrating, or like are designed that you can fail and fail and fail again. Like you upgrade your items 8 times and then it dies on the stage to 9 or something. So you spend money to get a little dopamine surge.
Yes, like you can like benefit or support or boost your I think you can boost your ego, right? Or if
You can boost your mood. That's it.
Or your mood. Yeah,
I don't know.
like but I think it's still separated from the pay to win aspect,
Sure.
right?
That has
So,
nothing
like,
to do with pay to win in general.
yeah, I think it's this is still bearable. Like if it's still skill based. So yes, like but you mentioned it, like if we are in this environment, like if it's like being within the game, like means of course enjoying your time or enjoying your free time or having a good time, right?
Mm.
And this is a pretty good opportunity for companies just to place these place their shops or place their items to buy them, and just to get used just to use the advantage of your situation of being in the environment of the game, and just yes, just to use your mood to get them buying their digital products. It's also an environmental aspect, I think. There.
Sure. I would like to ask everyone that's listening to this podcast and YouTube for a little experiment. Like the next time you want to buy something in a game that's like a cosmetic or something, monitor when you want to buy it. Do you want to buy it after a won game or after a lost game? Because I personally always buy after lost games. Like there hasn't been a single instance where I was like, oh cool, I won a game, I want to spend money now.
For me at least, like it's when I'm playing the game, after every match, like if I open a box or not, it's like some additional candy for me, or like some dessert, I think, if you would compare it to meal wise, like some when you get the main meal, and when you're finished, like if you would just want to have another dessert, like opening some loot boxes, or if you want to buy some skins, it depends, like whenever I'm in the mood, like in my case.
I mean, the battle pass you can't really control the timing in, right? Battle pass just opens after you're done playing anyways, or like in the middle.
Yeah, but actually, like you also limited to a time frame. Like the battle pass isn't always available, and League of Legends sometimes did some unfair challenges then that you need to get a certain amount of points in order to get this icon or this emote, and they did it sometimes, but not very regular. I didn't buy a battle pass in ages, like but it was the case like in some, I think a year ago, I think, yes.
I mean, okay, but that's like usually just the hardcore grinders reward. You kind of need to support the hardcore grinders too, because these are the people that make your games run. And actually, I
Yeah,
would love to see this kind of rewards for like other games too. Like I saw that in the Teamfight Tactics Battle Pass, for example. They have like 3 emotes that you can unlock after you finish the Battle Pass, but only if you play a ton. Like you need to really play a ton to even get those.
yeah, like and it only unlocks after you completed the original battle pass.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But I
like
don't see an issue with that.
yeah, like you said, it's just for the hardcore grinders, just that just need this additional content or this, yeah, which are very dedicated, let's say.
Exactly.
Um,
Fortnite does
it's-
that too. Fortnite has like a split battle pass. Like the first 100 levels of that battle pass are the main part of it. And then there's another 100 levels for the grinders, where you can unlock additional cosmetics. But Fortnite also has the system that like every battle pass pays for the next one.
Mhm.
Which I find a very nice thing, because if it's your main game, you only need to spend once and you get like an infinite amount of battle passes.
Yeah, if it doesn't lure you into some shady, I don't know, some shady crap, I think it's also fine.
Yeah. Apex gives you a recolor of the level 100 weapon 10 levels later, which is cool. Yeah, because like it's not necessary to get, but it's like a little add-on, which is like cool to get, but you'd also probably not cry yourself into sleep if you didn't get it. Okay. So yeah, I think like in general, we can say that actual expansions of the game are usually okay. Like I don't think anyone really is angry about getting like an actual story expansion. Sure, it would be cool if everything would be in the base game already, but I do get developers and companies that need to make money, and they made like a successful game, and then they want to earn money of that and add like another DLC to it. It would be cool if like single player games had a little bit more of this, oh, here's a finished product, and a little bit less of the, hey, you can buy a million pieces to make it a finished product. And also, I personally think that cosmetics in single player games are kind of shady. Like, I don't know, man. Single player games, you please just put the cosmetics in the game. Let me unlock them. Multiplayer games are different,
Yeah, true.
because also single player games have a very limited playtime. There's
Yeah, I
just
agree.
so much. Like, there's no human interaction. So what you gonna do?
Yes.
Then
Um,
yeah,
yeah, like I agree. Like if it's content wise, if it benefits the content of the game, if you get more of it, then feel free to do it. They can they can feel free to do it. Like it's not the issue.
yeah, absolutely. Then we have like the whole gambling aspect. I don't know. I personally think gambling shouldn't be in games at all, but I'm also very anti-gambling. Like I'm so anti-gambling that I'm complaining about RNG in the games I'm playing on a daily basis. Even though that's like part of the game. I don't know, man. I would love, for example, to play Hearthstone without RNG, but that's just not possible. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I just really hate RNG. I prefer if things I do have an outcome that I can foresee and control, but that's just not how it works. And I could see that like adding some kind of wall that people under the age of 18, or let's even say 16, are not able to spend money on in-game stores. I think that wouldn't be too crazy of an idea.
Yes, true. I agree. Like this age restriction needs definitely to happen. Uh, like we said, well, like we established in the in the points before, like children usually don't understand this don't understand when it's enough. So it's they get baited really quickly.
However, that like I also see the issue with it, and that is you can buy like cards like that where you can like charge your PlayStation account, where you can charge your points, use a PaySafe card or something like that. That kind of makes it very uncontrollable all of a sudden.
Yeah, true.
Because sure, you can check if someone has a credit card, and as far as I know, you can't have a credit card unless you're 18. At least it was like that 12 years ago. I'm not sure how it is today.
Yeah, I can't tell either. I don't know.
Yeah, and as far as I know, PayPal, at least back then, was also 18 plus only. So most of the online payment formats already require like you to be 18. So the issue lies in a person being able to go to the next like gas station and buy like a PaySafe card there, or buy PSN money.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's PSN, like if you buy it like you also know your intention on what to spend it, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not gambling. Like I think which is fine.
Well, I mean,
Like
you buy that, and then you put it in FIFA, and you buy champion packs or sportler packs, athlete packs, whatever.
yes, like
And then
again,
you're back in gambling. And how do you want to prevent that?
yeah, I think there definitely needs to be a mechanic there built in, like which prevents people under 18 to do these. Like I don't know how, but
I think you
yes,
could give more
even
control to parents
that's
in that
one way,
situation.
or yeah, or that's one way, or maybe just get rid of the packs in total. Like if it's necessary, because like I said before, there's an auction house where you can buy the players, and there you have the choice, and there you can see what to buy, and yes, like
Well, they won't do that. They want to make money. So I see
probably
it would be cool if they would remove it, but that won't happen. Like they need to make money. And
probably yeah,
they will milk this cow until it's dead.
yeah,
But I
much
could see
likely.
that, for example, you give players, you give parents some kind of control tools that just enable or disable the option to add PSN funds for the kid. Like they can buy the
Sounds
PSN card, but they cannot add it to their console, for example.
that sounds good. Yeah,
So you have some kind of control as parents, and yeah, so you're not completely lost.
yeah.
Okay. You have anything else you want to talk about?
Uh, no, not really. Like I just I'm happy that I could establish my my criticism here,
Yeah,
like the gambling aspect and the loot boxes, and it's uh, yeah, it needed to be, it's definitely needed some talk about it.
beautiful. All right, then let's wrap this up. Do you have any like social media channels where you post regularly? Is there some way how people can keep up with what you do?
No, I'm streaming from time to time on Twitch
Okay.
some games, but it's very rarely, and it's very difficult to catch up.
Okay, then I'll
Um,
just add your links to the show notes.
okay, yeah,
So in case people want to stop by, they have a way to find you.
yeah, sure.
Perfect.
That's
All right, then thanks everyone for being here. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you for joining me on episode 8 of the Mental Perspectives podcast. It would greatly help me if you could rate this podcast on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to it. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.